Hey friends, Greg here with the Pennywise guys. Today I'm going to show you how to replace a gas water heater with a heat pump water heater. Let's get started. Alright, we're going to replace the existing gas water heater right here. It's on a pedestal, and we'll take that pedestal out because the new heater is taller and it can stand on the ground. And we're going to disconnect the water lines here. We'll shut the water off. That's the cold inlet, and then the outlet or hot water is right there. I'm going to undo the fittings here, use a closed nipple, and put a PEX fitting on. So we'll just leave these lines in place, and we'll then bend them to where we can conform it till we use PEX. We'll transfer from PEX down to the new unit. I'm not going to show you in-process installation. I'm just going to show you what we're going to do and the end results. And so we're going to be draining this tank first here. There's the water hose hooked to the tank, and it goes out to the street. We're going to drain the water here shortly and take the safety straps off and then turn the gas valve off. That gas valve right down there. Okay, while the water is draining, I went ahead and disconnected the gas line here, and the line's right here, and I'll remove the line and cap it off after I test it for leaks later, before I install the new heater. I went ahead and cut off the copper blow-off drain tube. I disconnected I shut of course the cold water off, took this off because you got to have air going in for it to drain properly, otherwise it'll just dribble. You got to have incoming air for it to drain properly. Okay, so, and then we'll remove the hot water side a little bit here. Went ahead and loosened up the heater blanket. I'll get that, so that's gonna possibly be used on the new heater if it's in decent shape. Okay, and as soon as that's empty, then we will lift this off. We'll take that box apart, and I'll repair the sheetrock behind it and get ready to install the new one. I also removed the exhaust pipe. We're just going to leave that flange up there for now, and I just pulled that out of the flange and lifted it off the sheet metal down there. And so I got the exhaust pipe out of the way, and we're ready to remove this unit. Okay, we got the installation done, and I just wanted to show you the results. It looks really clean. The PEX water lines that we have coming in, the cold water line. I'll show you how to do the PEX work. I'm going to do a little illustration here in a little bit. But there's the 3/4 inch fitting to 3/4 inch PEX with a small little section of pipe to connect to a 90 on the PEX. And then we got the hot water, the same. There's the 3/4 inch PEX fitting to the 3/4 inch pipe coming out of the unit, and we have the 90 coming up, and then we went ahead and put in a shut-off valve on the cold side, and I used the existing copper, so I didn't have to break into the copper line that's soldered in, and I just added the 3/4 inch pipe nipple, and so 3/4 inch into the existing fitting for the copper, into a 3/4 inch fitting for the PEX that's actually a shut-off valve. Okay, and then there's the stainless steel crimp connector. I'm going to show you how to do that in a bit. And then the hot water side coming out of the unit, and we're going to go ahead and put some insulation, foam insulation on all the way down the PEX, and there's the shut-off valve on that as well. The unit went in really nice. We have the two straps to the wall, and we're going to have, there'll be a cabinet put back in place here. So basically the front of the unit is oriented like this between the cabinets, this cabinet here, and there'll be a cabinet here, so you'll have all your controls and everything, and your excuse me, electrical connections are still reachable here. I hardwired it into the unit with a flexible cord, number 10 gauge wire cord. It's a 10-3 cord, and I went ahead and utilized, I just bought a 10-3 extension cord with a twist lock plug. And since I had to buy the flexible cord anyway, this was cheaper than buying an outlet as well as the outlet box. And so this is something we can do, a disconnect right here with a twist lock plug. And then I went ahead and transitioned the cord into Romex up there at that box. And then Romex across the attic, okay, to the electrical panel. So that's out of reach, it's out of the way. You have your disconnect up here and hardwired in here. So it came out really well. This is the connections on the electrical panel for this water heater. I drilled a hole through the back of the panel, and I, with a step drill to hold the cord restraint, I got it so it's nice and tight, and it needs to be for code. I poked a screwdriver through there to locate the hole, and then I had a double pole breaker opening already on this one, and you have 2 lines for each one. It's a double pole, not a single pole, so you have 2 110 volt lines going in. Okay, so the red and the black wires go there. The ground, there is no neutral on this this heater, so even though I had a neutral available, I just cut it off there. It wasn't needed. The only calls for a 220 with 2 hot lines and 1 ground at the unit. So here's the ground lug back here. Just attach that bare copper wire to the back. If you had a need for a neutral wire, the white wire, which was there, you connect it to the same bus. So it's the same neutral and ground bus, okay, on this panel. Some panels have a separate neutral bus and a ground bus, but this one has a combined neutral and ground bus, so go ahead and connect them to the same side. So check out my other video on how to combine circuits, and you'll be able to open up spots if you don't have anything available. And I show you how to combine circuits in a panel to free up space for new added breakers. I just want to show you a little demonstration of how to do PEX work like we did on this water heater. I'm using 3/4 inch plastic PEX line. I love PEX because it's very easy to work with and lightweight, but it doesn't corrode like galvanized pipe will. And the only problem is sunlight will crystallize the plastic and it will break. So you just got to keep it out of the sun and it'll last a long time, a lifetime. Anyway, I use the stainless steel crimps, and it has around the hose, it has a little area where you crimp it, and we use a crimp tool like this. I got this at Lowe's. You can get them on Amazon. Price range between $50 and $75. Okay, but they're wonderful to have, and this will do the whole range of PEX fittings in sizes. Okay, and what I have here to show the demo is I have just a straight a fitting that goes from 3/4 to 1 inch, and so we used different fittings, but it's all the same technique. Sorry about that, tongue tight. So make sure the clamp, the 3/4 inch stainless steel clamp is on there. Just slip that in like that, and if I can see this here, you get the crimp tool on there. Doing this with one hand is kind of tough. Make sure you leave about 1/8 inch of PEX past the fitting, right about there, and then go ahead and I got it on my knee and my leg and crimp it till it's all the way down. I don't know if you can see that. Release that, and there she goes. This will spin on. You can turn this, but it won't create a leak. So for adjustment purposes, you can crimp it, and then you can turn your pipe slowly, and it won't hurt anything. Okay, so that's a little quick demonstration of how to use PEX. So this project, we used that, and it worked really well. Also, I wanted to show you, if you get PEX in coils, it will come with a curvature that you have to work with to get it to go straight if you need to. Other sections and that's in large rolls, it's going to come curved. You can buy PEX in 10-foot lengths, 5-foot lengths, and 20-foot lengths that are straight. Like that red PEX there was straight, and what we did is You heat it up with a hair dryer or a heat gun and just heat it gently. If you hair dryer, you can heat it without worrying about it melting. Heat gun, you got to keep the heat gun moving and heat it to where you can slowly bend this curvature in it. So we go from down here, that 90 that's on that fitting, up, and we can then bend it with the hair dryer or heat gun and go up to our other fitting up here. Okay, so that is a straight piece that we actually put a bend in it. The blue line here was originally, you see that curvature, and that was out of a roll of PEX. I think that was like a 50-foot roll, and it comes curved. It's out of the roll, and so I didn't have to heat this because it has that natural bend. I utilize that to go right up to the connector there. So it will hold straight as long as you can work it through. And actually I'm using the straps here on both sides to kind of help to keep that thing from moving. Okay, so heat gun when you need to take a straight piece and curve it, or you can actually use that curve that you have and straighten it out as best you can, and it will hold it. And you can use a heat gun also to straighten out a curve into a straighter shot. So just gave you an idea that with PEX work, just use a heat gun or a hair dryer to have that available. The stainless steel crimps, I just showed you how to crimp that. And the fittings, you have valves that are PEX, okay, that go from PEX to 3/4 inch pipe. I put a nipple in there, it's called a closed nipple, and to the existing, okay? All right, hope that PEX might work for you. Think about using it in your next project. It is good stuff to work with. I pray that you are blessed and that you know Him who is the author of life.